guys? Let's go play a little bit of Final Fantasy X on PS4. Well, this is the Remaster edition. Never played that, and I've actually never played 10-2. Can't say really cared to. We're just gonna go with vanilla. I actually haven't done much research of this game. I assume this is probably like the corrected version that was released in Japan with the sphere grid. Because originally when this game came out, like the sphere grid, it was kind of flawed. This may or may not be the improved one. But yeah, I actually originally played this game on the PS2 like 100 years ago. I was in high school, I believe. And my mom actually gave this to me as an early present. She's like, yeah, I know you wanted this game, so here you go. So yeah, I lost a lot of time into this game. Looking back on it, a lot of people are just like, oh, this game kind of sucked, because for several different reasons. The major complaints I hear about is that, oh, the game is bright, colorful, not very grim and dark like 7 or 8. And, you know, honestly, that's kind of the charm. I felt this one had a lot more friendlier colors. I mean, the story at times, like, it's still heavy. It's still a love story. Voice acting has not aged well in this at all. It's the art for voice acting, it's improved a lot in games. I mean, basically, it's just Nolan North and Troy Baker nowadays, but you get the idea. At the time, this was really good. The voice acting, it was still new in games. A lot of not that you didn't see voice acting in a lot of N64, Dreamcast, and PS1 games, but for, well, I mean, yeah, there's Metal Gear Solid, the voice acting was stupendous in there, but this is one of Square's, like, first to make, oh wow, Titus looks very different from what I remembered. Clearly put more work into his face, because I remember not looking this detailed. Still have a copy for PS2, actually. Could probably stream that later. I wasn't planning on streaming for that long, but I haven't played the game in a while, and I got this code for like $20 on Amazon, so I'm like, alright. So yeah. Final Fantasy X. I call him Titus, but some people call him Titus, but did he used to have a monologue there of sorts? Jesus fucking Christ. I just wasted all that fucking time. What is this? I don't know. We'll just go with standard. You can switch. Sure. We'll go with the range. We'll go with the new stuff. Some people may want to see the new stuff. Yes. I came to play Final Fantasy X, not 20 questions. That was weird. Oh! Oh, damn it. Just skip it. So yeah, I was just hitting buttons now. This is when he's probably like, oh, this is my story. Or, oh, this is my story. Oh my god. Will you listen to it with me? Did I just skip it?
Listen to my story.
Shut up.
This may be our last chance.
I think I just actually skipped a bunch of that. I'm sorry. But whatever, we're gonna get to the game. I don't know. Not sure. But yeah, as I'm streaming this, earlier today, Sony had their, PSX conference. I can't quite remember what it's called. But they showed off 7, gameplay of 7. Like most people, I'm excited, but one of my friends posted a picture of Cloud, you know, like, oh, when did heroes with curves become sexier than heroes. You know, just comparing New Cloud to Old Cloud. And in the picture of New Cloud, I'm like, oh my god, like, are his arms that skinny? They're like sickly looking, man. It's like fucking sickle cell, like, anemia, motherfucker. That's not funny. I apologize if you have sickle cell. That's not funny thing to laugh at, but if you're anemic, that's kind of your own doing. Hehehehe. Yeah, this game blew my mind at the time on PS2. Does it hold up? I don't know. About to find out. There might be a lot of weird and awkward things, because there's actually a point in time where even transitioning from, like... yeah, why not? He was the only character that you could name, but they don't ever call him by name. They call them, like...
to worry about.
I don't know. Man from Zanarkand or whatever. They actually still refer to him by name in 10 2, which I never played.
That will mean it was for you, okay?
Yes, sir.
What seat?
Meg Ryan.
He's blocking the front row! It's from the right!
Got it.
Yeah, voice actors. It still sounds like they still use the same voice actors. Alright. Come on, kids, I'll sign yours.
Can you sign this?
No problem.
Just said it.
Please?
Alrighty.
But yeah, like, I remember when I played this at the time, like, I was just very excited, you know? Like, at the time, like, I did play some PS2 games, but there really wasn't any game that came out at the time that I really wanted to play.
Go.
Other than this. This came out, I'm like, alright, well, I gotta wait a while.
Teach us how to blitz!
Hey, I got a game to play.
It's kind of painful, but whatever.
Then teach us after!
Of course, you know, this game came out like 100 million years ago, so... Oh yeah, as I was saying, like, before...
I mean,
things kind of became standardized, like...
Promise?
Even GTA 3, you go back, you play it, it does have a weird control scheme. To control the camera, you use, like, L1 and R1, and the right analog stick switches to first-person mode. I think in Vice City they corrected that. But like I said, like, there's no, like, standardized rules for gaming. Like, sometimes, like, a major game has to come out and do things well. I don't know why, but then people are like, oh, hey, we should adopt some of those things that it did. Like, you know, Halo's control scheme, Call of Duty's control scheme. Pretty much any shooter nowadays uses Call of Duty's control scheme. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Like, why break what's familiar? You know, when I was a kid, playing Mario games, my god, I can't remember if it was B to jump or A to jump. But there were other games where they would have the buttons reversed and it would throw you off because, well, it's been ingrained into your
my dad must have been
fibers that, oh hey, it controls like this.
Sad he'd be. Heck, we all were that day. Zanar, I says to myself, what are
this
you
game has
thinking?
done a lot of interesting things
I
on
wouldn't run it
PS2,
straight
but
back home. We sat up
Final
talking
Fantasy
about
12
his own-
definitely looks way better on PS2,
Make
even
way,
though
make
it
way.
had a lot of like weird
Coming
things where
through,
people would pop
sorry.
in, like, okay, I guess I have to run.
Hey,
Shenmue and-
I'm gonna be late.
Xenoblade
let
X
go of
on
me.
Wii U actually has that too, where things don't pop in until like you're like 15 feet away from it. But you know, that's the kind of sacrifice that you have to do with some graphics. Because technically, Final Fantasy 12 had more text, just things were a lot more detailed. So to keep the game running well, you have to, you know, find a balance. Because it's either you have a game that has all these assets in and runs like shit, or have cut back on certain things to get it running well. I loved this song at the time because I was a stupid teenager. This game had some like inconsistent quality with cinematics. There was definitely some cinematics that had better quality than others. Yeah, the computer-generated CGI movie Beowulf had the same deal. Where some parts, like, people's faces looked amazing, and other parts it's like fucking G.I. Joe. Get wrecked, son. Meg Ryan does it. And here's the baddest dude of the land, Orin. There's a Lord of the Rings RPG game that borrowed a lot from this game, the combat system. I can't remember the exact name of it, but Penny Arcade actually made a comic about it where Tedious goes in and says like, okay guys, you're like ripping us off a bit too much, and then one of them's like, okay, man from the dream. Oh yeah, spoilers. This is actually a dream right now. This is actually not happening. Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. It doesn't matter. This technically isn't the real world. Right now I'm like starting to think about that, like, stupid ass twist. Should have just been like a man that's out of time, like a man from the past. That would have made a much more better story. It would have made much more sense. It's less questions asked, because, like, Jack, his dad, became a real boy. I'm sorry, a real man. Because he touched Sin. I'm sorry, Shin. In the Japanese version, he was called Sin.
Orin!
Which means you. I'm sorry,
What are you doing
Shin.
here?
I was waiting for you.
What are you talking about?
Which means, like, you know, evil, I think. I'm not sure. It's been quite some time. With it.
It begins.
What?
Don't cry.
Don't cry. Kind of a weird thing to say someone to an adult. Don't cry. Then again, I guess.
What the?
And we would talk about spoilers. Then again, he's kind of known to be a big crybaby. Like, that was his thing. His dad would be like, "Hey, you crying again, you little wimp?" He was one of those dads.
Not this way.
But you get the idea.
Look,
You get the idea. His dad, you know, his dad didn't really mesh well.
we called it sin.
I guess the game still looks good. I mean, I know it's on PS4, but go big sin. Oh yes, the spores. Yeah, the game still looks alright. I mean, it's even though like this was a high budget game at the time, this was still a very early PS2 style. It's like comparing the bouncer to like I don't know, like a late
Take it.
PS2 game I can't think of. Comparing Zone of the Enders 1 to Zone of the Enders 2 and Metal Gear Solid 2 to Metal Gear Solid 3.
A gift from Jet.
My old man?
Don't cry, man. Get your ass up. Cut yourself, you bitch.
I hope you know how to use it.
You might want to give it a little bit more prep time than that. Yes and no. The pointy end goes through them.
These ones don't.
I thank you. Baddest dude in the galaxy. Second the Vader.